Bangladeshian and whatever other nations out of our country, because it is claimed that they are taking opportunities from the local people. But tonight I have seen their value. They were the only shop still open. At last we found a place, and it was a Pakistani shop, and yeah, there was a number we found. They came and they assisted me in transferring all the necessary information to the new phone. So I just want to apologize for those people that that I caused unnecessary inconvenience for being off air. But yes, we are back, and you know, God bless. We are happy. We are together. I can now put my life back to normal as well. I also went into paranoia. Because I know how difficult it is for me to even get to you people in 1 day or 2 days. And thank you God, you know, we could replace it. Now the printer has been replaced, the phone has been replaced. Yeah, I don't know, you know, yeah, it's tough. You know, I go through a battery 2-3 times a day these days. It's quite crazy. It's good phones, but yeah, it cannot take the punishment that it's going through at the moment. But yeah, anyway, I apologize for people that were trying to get hold of me and they couldn't, or that was waiting for me to give them response. I'm a little bit in the back now. I will get to everybody. Just be patient. It is a lot of people to deal with. It normally takes me about a day or a half a day or a night before I get to new messages coming in. I start from the top and I go to the bottom, and then I start from the bottom and go to the top again, and by the time I get to the top, it just doesn't stop. Okay, but it's great. It's great to see people participating. It's great to see that we serve some value in some people's lives. Of course, some of our members on our group is tonight in ecstasy of what was released on the group. I have to say that things are happening a hell of a lot faster than what was initially the time limits set for it. And I'm sorry. Once again, it is information that will be released a little bit later than what you've already got it. But anyway, that is what makes us different. That is what makes us it's just wonderful. And it's great to see all the people on the show. I thank Sean once again and his family. They have given me a bit of a training session today on how does TikTok work. And I realized that there was 3,260 Rand on my TikTok account. Well, you know, I never knew that this is how it works, or this is how money is coming. I never knew, and I want to say thank you for everybody that's been sending gifts. I used to see these little things coming on the screen, but I never knew what they were for. And I just thought, okay, well, it looks like a party, you know, and it put me in a lekker mood, you know, seeing this gifts, and I never knew what it was. But now I know, and gladfully today I could have contacted some of our people on our groups that are not able to pay for to have their documents processed and applied for, and the money was used to assist them. And I thank everybody for joining in this, maybe unknowingly. There's a lot of other people still on our group. There's a lot of other people that cannot afford to have their documents prepared. And yeah, let the gifts go. We're going to assist those people through this, to be able to put them fully kitted on the bus that we are traveling together on. I think it's a great way of assisting one another. We need a lot of help for these people. Yeah, they are one of us. They are people who want to take up America, and I think what a great moment. You know, I think we can all just stand together and help one another this way. It's great. Thank you so much. Yeah. You know, I don't know what to say. It's just a moment that touch hearts, and I think, wow, you know, it's sad that we have to leave some of those type of people behind when we leave. I know the white people, wherever they are in the world, they've got a heart for one another. They've always been taking care of each other. Even though there was a period or a time or a generation that we were segregated and we had different interests, but what is happening in the world is bringing us together. And the unity is just amazing. It's amazing. Thank you for helping each other. And thank you for your gifts. There is people that needs it. And I will make sure that the benefit of that reach those people. I am not personally in need of that. But there is people with children. There's single mothers with children. There's old people that has been impoverished. Let's help them. Let's pull this ox wagon together on the new great track that we have started together. Oh, yeah. So, I just want to, I know Sean advised me not to mention this, but I have no option. I have to do that because it is a public document, and I have discussed the issue that we should keep quiet about this with the people that we work with abroad, and they said I would put myself or even the group at a very bad position if I keep quiet about this, and they would rather let me make mention of it so that people are aware of it, that we have not been withholding information from people. And yeah, sorry, you know, it was not my plan. I didn't want to do it. I feel that the people that started and pulled on this and reacted in time was the ones who deserved the knowledge of it. But yeah, I'm going to slightly refer to it. I'm not going to call the name of the document. That I've also said I'm not going to do. On Tuesday evening, after we have this live show that you are looking at now, I will request every one of the members on the group of the Amerikaans to be at hand with their telephones so I can assist everybody. I can assist everybody to fill in that form, because apart from our names and our identity numbers, all the other information required and needed is similar to one another, and we cannot make mistakes on these forms, and I cannot individually correct everybody. But Sean, always being there is a pillar to lean on. He has agreed to make his number also known to the group of the people. We'll do it on the group. We won't do it publicly like this here, so that people can also contact him to assist me to deal with the other people that may have a problem concerning issues of our nature here, you know, taking up our refugee status, and especially to fill in that form that I have released on the group. You know, I think it's the most greatest moment that has arrived for us. People didn't have trust in what was happening with us. People had a lot of remarks to leave on us. They have even taken on Sean and his family. I'm referring to the LZ van Rensburg and them. Taking him on and telling him they are scammers and they are making money and thousands out of people, and requesting the international people out there to be aware of them, etc., etc. But there's something that they forgot, that every country in the world has a law that is called cybercrime. And we have decided as a group and as a members together, I've spoken to a few people, that we are going to take legal action against these people in crime and injuria and cyberbullying. That is, I think, the way we deal with this scum that comes along. and try to raise their voices and get fantasies from getting attention from us when we react. I think it's just the right way to deal with them in a proper way. So step away from them and leave them to the pit that they are about to fall in. Now, I also have the information that I will make available for people who wants to take on this great track on their own, which was requested by me to reveal that. I will reveal it not today. There's a date when it will be revealed to the rest of the public from various platforms. But that is also the day I will reveal where people can go to take on this great track on their own. But you still would need the documentation that we've been working on together here, that everybody is aware of, that you need to be able to do that. You're still going to have to let your documents go through the verification process, and then the rest is at no cost, like it was on our platform, absolutely. But now you can physically do it on your own, seeing that our bus has departed. And yeah, along the way, as we moving towards the airport for our departure, if there is bus ranks where people are sitting in the rain or it seems to look a bit lost, and we'll stop and bring them on board. We are people with heart. We care about our fellow people, and white people, especially here in South Africa, and the international world out there, the Americans, especially them. They care a lot about us, and we welcome them on our side. And with us people here, I think it's one of the greatest moments in our lifetime. It may not be for other people the case, but for us it is. And we're going to enjoy this moment. So I just have to inform you that previously the office that I will reveal, that is, I just received the message that they are still operating in South Africa. But unfortunately, the office, there was only 2 offices. Unfortunately, the office in Cape Town has already been closed permanently. When the office in Pretoria will close, we have no specific date, but there is talks about it being closed sometime. I don't know. It's talks. I cannot verify it. I cannot say it's a fact or not a fact. But we pray that it can be long enough open so that it can assist the people that wants to take this great venture on their own and take the journey by themselves to go to the United States of America and taking up their refugee status. Now we're going to move on to the latest news that was released by President Donald Trump, when he said that with immediate effect, farmers in South Africa that feels that they are threatened and their safety is not okay, farmers, I want to underline the word farmers, you know, it is not an executive order that was signed or a second executive order that was signed. What happened there is that Malema, as usual, as I have posted the speech on the group just before we went on to the show, like to make irresponsible remarks under which the whole of South Africa's people are going to suffer, behaving like an idiot. You know, it's only idiots that will follow you anyway, but they are causing severe actions being decided upon in the United States of America, and disrespecting President Donald Trump is one of the worst mistakes you can ever make in your life. Whether the world likes to admit it or not, whether they want to see it like that or not, whether they like it or not, he is the mightiest man on earth. And there's no 2 things about it. It is a fact. If you just look at what has happened since he came back into office, the whole world is shifting. Already a new order has come into being, and we are getting used to the order. And luckily this order is without all these woke cultures and all these Black Lives Matters and other lives doesn't matter, and etc., etc. You know, like this BBBEE laws that is in South Africa, which is just a shield behind which certain individuals are are hiding because of their inability to do things for themselves. So they want to piggyback on those who are creative enough and starting things that create wealth and prosperity and good businesses for themselves. So, yeah, it's just a piggyback riding. It's nothing else than that. It is to hide their inability to be able to do it for themselves. So, here we go. Now you know what I think about BBE, and that is exactly what it is. If you can find any other reason, I'd like to hear. And I think you're going to have to come up with a lot of bullshit to convince me. So, here we go. Cybercrime dealt with. Now we're going to discuss this executive order after President Donald Trump said farmers with immediate effect. Now, what did that cause? That caused a lot of people here in South Africa, in America, and everywhere else to go into a flat spin again and sending messages around and being in paranoia and being unhappy and being uneasy and being insecure, which is natural, which is normal. It is not an executive order. We say it again. It is not a new executive order. It is just a different system that he wants to give those who are on land today that needs to evacuate because they are the more and the most vulnerable group of white people in South Africa. They are not getting first priority. Please do not go into that type of mindset. What happens here is we have to go back because the law remains the law. And just last night, I have discussed with you people the reading that has happened and the news at that time last night that was released. And I unfortunately don't have all this knowledge. It just becomes too much for me to have it to know out of my head. You know, I was trained by the old South African Defence Force, and even at school, you know, when I was grade 3 and grade 4, that when you go and stand and address people, that you never have a piece of paper in front of you or even anywhere close to you. You should know your facts and the presentation you are about to deliver out of your head. Man, it was times of school and performance. That's why we're excellent today, and we are. Thanks to those type of teachings and the military, especially the infantry school in Oudtshoorn where I was for JLs, I think they've done an excellent job of teaching the best instructors and best leaders ever to be found in any military institution. And South Africa has made that point in that era. I cannot speak for today, and I'm not going to give you my opinion of today, but yeah, that was the case that time. So, and proudly I have to say so that one parachute battalion, I know there's now guys from Panzer School that wants to throw me with helmets and anything they can get hold of. But anyway, I don't have a beret. You can't steal it from me anymore. So no 2 days or 3 days leave for you. Yeah, and so the story goes, you know, and lekker. We've been through it, and it was nice, and it was a privilege to be alive during that time and to be given the opportunity to go through that training and the disciplines that was involved with it, because that created who we are today. And I think we are excellent. So now we go and we're going to discuss this confusion that was coming up between the people because of what President Trump has said earlier on today. U.S. executive order. Now, this refers to the executive order that was signed on the 29th of February this year. No, not the 29th, the 9th of February. So what does it say? U.S. executive order stands. Now, what does that word stands mean? Stands means that it is in place. It remains there. It is what is in operation. It is law. It's a policy of the United States of America. It's a formal official policy. It further goes and says, since the executive order was signed by President Donald Trump, it remains official U.S. policy. Now, what is a policy? It's a law, if you want another description of it. So nothing changed. So now people will say, but you know, now he talks about farmers all the time and he talks about this all the time. You're correct, he does. But let us go back to the policy, the executive order. And once again, quickly go through that, because I want people to feel comfortable and not feel insecure during this great trek that we are undertaking. It clearly states, however, the executive order specifically uses the term refugee. Now, as we all know by now, that there's another phase before refugee status, and that is asylum. But because you have already received in-country, meaning while you are in South Africa, refugee status from the United States of America, you don't have to go through that first process, which is an advantage here. So let us go there. Therefore, it is important to distinguish between those seeking asylum and those seeking refugee status. Refugee status is not what you seek. You've already been given it. You have to go for a formality to take up your refugee status now. Right. So the executive order specifically states, hear me, now you have to look at your personal situation where you are in today and see and find for yourself under which of these following conditions you are qualifying to make use of this refugee status that has been offered to the white people in South Africa. It says, the executive order specifically states, the United States shall promote, makes you aware of it, and work on it, the resettlement of Afrikaner refugees escaping, now here it comes, government-sponsored, race-based discrimination. That's the first part. Now, BBEE automatically puts you in that category, and that qualifies you to take up your refugee status because you have been racially, you know, like they say here, government-sponsored race-based discrimination. You have been. You as a white person. And yes, you are 100% right. There's other minority groups in the country, like, there's many. Just to think about the colors in our country as well. Here in Cape Town, here in everywhere, in Johannesburg, wherever they are. They've also been under that same difficult situation. If you go and look at how BBBEE is being implemented, just before us, they come, and then there's a long list of other that must be advantaged before it even reaches them, and lastly us. So we feel for them. We cannot change the executive order, we cannot determine it, and we cannot have an input in it, but we understand that they've also been through it, and something needs to be done for them. And that's the way I feel. You know, this is not about anything else but about people that has been racially discriminated against. So you fall under that. This is the executive order. Right. Now it says, including, now we come to the second phase, including racial discriminatory property confiscation. This is where our farmers are coming in. This is where maybe in the future, the people who have homes today or business premises that will be taken from them without compensation. Because they are also in the target zone of the law as it is written, expropriation without compensation. Land can be any land. It can even be the grave on which your forefathers has been put to rest. And that's a fact. So here we go. asylees and refugees are individuals. Listen to this. I want you to take note of this, please. Let us walk away from this point so that you have clarity and peace of mind. This is, I say it again, this is policy. It is not changed. Asylees and refugees are individuals who have faced persecution or have a well-founded fear of persecution in their home countries based on your race, your religion, your nationality, or membership in a particular social group or political opinions. So the field of where you can become a beneficiary of this refugee status offered is quite wide. And I say again, this is law now. It's not going to be changed. So don't go up in flames because suddenly you use the word farmers. And just for the case of refreshing anybody and everybody on this group, and whoever are listening in from abroad and from wherever people are listening to this message, when people in abroad refer to, even from Zambia, even from Tanzania, here right next to us, even Zimbabwe. If you are in Zimbabwe, the first thing that people will call you or refer to you, if you are a white man there, is they will say to you, hey, we've got a farmer here, because you are white. Now, this is how the rest of the world sees white people. I want you to take that for once and for all in your mind, without any further explanation needed for this. Now let us go and explain this word. If we now want to talk about a farmer, what's a farmer? How do you classify a farmer? A person can sit inside town in a flat on the 7th floor, a bachelor flat, or a room, and they can be farming with goldfish. They can be farming with guppies. They can be farming with houseplants. You can sit in a small yard and you can be farming with breeding dogs. It's a dog farmer. Or cats. Or rabbits. Or birds. Different types of budgies. He's a exotic bird farmer. Or doves that flies. You know, all these pigeons. So what's a farmer? Is it specifically somebody with 1 hectare land, 10,000 hectares of land, or somebody who wears a short khaki pants or a denim shorts and a pair of fellies and a short shirt in the middle of the winter and a pipe in his mouth and a little sheepskin head on his head? Is that a farmer? No. If you want to classify a certain group of people by farmer, then that also is a very broad spectrum. So farmer here, in your logic, and as explained here now, is a term used for a specific type of people. So let us just get into that for once and for all. And stop going up in flames and worries and get paranoid because that word was used. Right. So now, yeah, it's strange how things can be written and said. I just want to find my book here. So now tonight, I want to discuss something to you and with you. A month ago, I had this platform for almost a year and a half. If I remember right, I don't know. It can be a year in 4 months, a year in 3 months. I don't know. I didn't take book of when it was actually created. I'm talking about this Greenfeed Solution technology site on TikTok. I never ever used it because I never had the time to educate myself or to be educated by somebody else on how to use it. And I never really had an interest to do it because, I don't know, somebody told me, you need a WhatsApp site and you need a TikTok site and you need a Yahoo site and you need a this and you need a that. And I thought, let's just open it, you know. But when this situation came, now I want you to realize how long ago this information was known. That now I'm going to discuss this point. That's point number 3. I want you to realize how long point number 3's information was known to me. Before it was even released yesterday. For the very first time. Now that may be another unanswered question to many people, but it's not important here. What is important is that I knew. And I don't have to answer anybody, because there's reasons why I wouldn't answer anybody. I don't come from a spoeg and plak school, and my mouth is too big to talk about things that I know I shouldn't talk about. So let's respect that. Because it's vital and very important and valuable information that we are using and talking about here, and that make the situation become a reality for us. So here we are. So I looked at the site and I said, but my son, you know what? All this information I have around this, there's a saying that says, if you know the system, you know the system. Then you follow the 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And then you put the system in order. And you follow the system so that you can achieve your goals. Right, so what do? I did get to know the system and the context to it. And then I've put it out into a proper planning. And I used it. And then I realized I can use this platform to secure that the cancellation of this opportunity of giving South African white people the refugee status is not going to be cancelled. So I had to bring my part to the show to help prevent it. Now I'm going to read to you what is the 3 reasons for which they can stop this benefit to the white South Africans. And it's by the words of the President of the United States of America. It's not by my words. It was released by him yesterday. But now look where it came from. You know how old is the site. Man, it's lekker to be prepared. It says, bottom line, the refugee policy, we say policy, ne? The refugee policy for white South Africans will remain in place for now unless, hear me, for now unless, point number 1, a US court overturns it, meaning that other parties or the Congress stood up against it, which they have never done because they want us, they like us. That's why. Nobody ever tried to say anything bad about it or even give bad remarks about it. And that's just absolutely wonderful. Don't you think? But yeah, anyway, unless the US court overturns it or a future administration revokes it. Now, if a future administration does come in and they revoke it, it means from that day forward, when they revoke it, from this day that they revoke it, into the future, nobody can still use that opportunity. But those who are already there have come under a law and legally into the United States of America, and they will remain there. And they will not be penalized or in any way somehow thrown or kicked out of the United States of America, unless you commit a crime. Whilst you have not received your citizenship yet. So now we go. And you get involved in woke culture, of course. or you become a terrorist, or you start supporting these extremist groups that we have in the Muslim world, yeah, no, for sure. Then you got to be thrown out. You deserve it. But then the number 3 point is this one. It is politically, or if it is politically abandoned due to lack of applications. Now, when I started, it was me, myself, my wife and my 2 sons. And I was hoping my daughters would also agree to go with their families, which they say, no, it's okay. But I'll be there for them, waiting. If it happens, they'll have a soft landing. But now I saw, but this is not going to safeguard. I have to make sure that this is not going to be cancelled because of a lack of interest or a lack or too little applications. So what do? I went and I used this platform where we sit tonight and talk to one another, and I reached out to the people across South Africa. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, our bus is full. The next thing people are going to see of us is getting on the plane. All these naysayers, all these Elsies van Rensburgs, all these haters, all these scum that we have to accommodate, involving themselves into a situation on this platform that has got absolutely nothing to do with them. We didn't ask them help. We didn't. Now, come on, man. What scum do you get in their mental sickness? Uninvitedly. How rude can you get? What does it speak for your background and the type of person you are? Start mentioning people. They even sent the Rapport newspaper to me. Please, everybody, go and buy the Rapport newspaper tomorrow. And yes, I know they will try to paint me black. I don't care. Because what the people on this platform, on this group, wanted to happen for them has and is happening. So I invited them when they phoned me, just for the sake of reference here, and I said, now seeing that you want to know all these other questions, which I'm not going to answer, it's none of your business, just for the case of giving you the true side of the story, I have thousands of people here. You can personally phone today and ask them if they are unhappy about me or if they have paid me money to do anything for them. For my services or for enrichment of myself. And I said, can I forward the people's numbers and names to you? And he said, no, it's not necessary. Meaning that they don't want to put the positive part in the paper and the article. They just want to, they are already planning to put a lot of bullshit there. Because they want to discourage people. But let them have a wonderful day. We'll send them where we are as one. And I know, and I think every one of you know, that has been working along as a group with me, and I'm with you, that we know what we are doing and we are happy. I have not ever had a complaint from every or any single person on this group, and I'm talking about thousands. So if they can't handle or deal the quietness and the unity in which we as a people here are doing things together with, it's their problem. We shouldn't give them attention, and we shouldn't let them know that we even notice them, and we shouldn't be stalled by them because we've left them already behind. Let them be of the past. Let them go and please themselves. In their house, they know which place to go to. So, though that, all the bitterness and all the joy and all the happiness together, and I hope the explanation was quite thoroughly set out to you tonight, and I hope I was of help to everybody that needed it, with no cost, Elsie van Rensburg rubbish, and your little newspaper you sent to me, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. So let us divorce these things and as a unity move together, because we're no longer with them. And Opa, I see you there. Congratulations. I enjoy seeing you. And I will make a request to you from this platform. Let us not ever, ever, in any way whatsoever, get politically involved or religiously involved or make any racial remarks on this platform or on any other platform that we are as a unity together, working together towards a common goal that we are doing for ourselves. We are not even begging other people to help us financially. Thank you very much. We don't need that. So, we're going to go to the next subject. And this subject is for the Americans, because we are going to America. It is time that we have to start seeing our fellow Americans as the people that has given us the opportunity, that is welcoming us there because none stood up against this, and people who are actually embracing the opportunity of white South Africans going to America. And that was the advert that I sent onto the group and the TikTok account of one of the parts of discussion tonight. Americans have been raped, abused, misused, in various other dirty types of treatment given upon them by the same people that they were feeding and protecting and healing for 50, 60 years. While that same people are eating from their hands, including South Africa, and getting all those donations and funding that are given by the Americans and coming from the American taxpayers to take care of them here. Even refugees from other countries that are in South Africa are being taken care of by American taxpayers' monies. And we here in South Africa thought, wow, you know, our government is wasting our taxpayers' money on these people. In the meantime, it's the Americans' money. But yeah, it's easy to bullshit us. The Americans was giving all this support funding through the USAID and various other NGO organizations across this country to HIV people, to medical, so much, you don't know where to stop. Whilst at the same time, our leaders go behind the Americans' back and partner with Iran, which is the enemy of America, and stood up against Israel, which is the brother to America, and went to try to embrace China and Russia, who are their fellow BRIC nations, even started BRICS with them, while they are eating out of the hands of the Americans' mercy on them. How low of a human being or a nation have you got to be to have that type of mentality and nature? And then they want to shout America today? They want to insult America today? I'm sorry, but that is now my country. And it is going to become a country for a lot of people that may not even know that they're going to decide upon that very soon. But it just tells you who we are surrounded with. And yes, don't misjudge yourself because you have a white skin and you think we are talking about black people only. No. There's those white snakes also in between them. And here, that has been running these NGOs, living in very fancy houses, driving fancy cars, wearing the best clothes and jewelry, eating the best food and having private schools for their children, and they are just the ones around, you know. We know them, you know them. They are around you, they are in your suburb. They may be even part of your family or even your social circles. That rubbish. Whilst they were supporting the governments to go behind the backs of the Americans and go and make friends with America's enemies. And then they think they can make an appointment and go and sit there with Mr. Trump, the king of this world at this moment, whether you like it or not. And they're going to get mercy. Well, he showed them their mercy yesterday, properly, and they deserve it. They laid the table, let them eat it. What you sow, you reap. And this is how you deal with a traitor. And the consequences belongs to those traitors. And we already see where we drive, where we go, the difference in our beloved country, South Africa. The impact of the king. You know, when you rule a country, it doesn't mean you are a king. When you rule countries and continents with what you say and what you decide upon and what you do, you are the king. And everybody else, as you can see happening across the world, will bend their knee. Unless you're arrogant, stupid, ignorant, and idiotic. And you become speakers of nonsense. Then that bad luck is just piling up upon you more and more and more and will lead to your destruction, of which that is now causing South Africa's root. And if you still don't see it, I'm unfortunately have no advice for you. So yes, with that said, hail the king of this world, President Donald Trump, and I'm proud to say that, and I will stand up for that, and I will fight for his country like I did for South Africa, and I will protect my fellow Americans and Americans which is Americans, and I'm proudly walking away from this country when my day comes, because it doesn't deserve my presence. Not in the state it is today. And it will not be any better into the future. And that's my opinion. God bless you. You have a beautiful evening. And you go like it. You follow it. And you share it. But before you do that, remember there's people who need you. Gifts. Let them roll. We are all doing an effort here. Let them roll. And let those naysayers and oppositions and enemies stand in shame. What idiots we are surrounded with. And they are coming. I'm seeing them. Hoorah, Erika Krieger. Yeah, Anna, yes, man, I see them. Mr. Beach. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, she's busy with this one. April is there, and I see the people are jumping. They are giving gifts. Opa is there. Yeah, no, and they are falling. I just shocked because some of these people who are sending these gifts, I know for sure are even some of those people who need the financial assistance to prepare their documentation. Wow. It is so stunning to see this unity between our people, to see the importance of us as a people together. We are not standing backhand or hiding behind BBEE that another type of people must assist us or help us or uplift us or give us partnerships and things for free. No. We stand as one together with our own. Therefore, we could never have been brought to a fall, and never will. With this, I lift my head, I salute everybody, and you have a fabulous, fantastic, beautiful night. I'm going to miss you guys tomorrow night. I'm going to take a little day off. You know, I've been offline, and I have a couple of people I have to attend to that I couldn't reach. And yeah, you know, while he was putting all my things over, there was phone calls and things coming in. And as you know, it's hundreds at a time. It's tough for me to get to everyone. I cannot bite between them. But anyway, I'm getting to everyone as much and as fast as I can. At least I'm back on air. I see the battery here is just now again at 2%. Yeah, is it 3%? So I have to, unfortunately, immediately when I finish the show, get it to a charger. As you know, it hasn't been charged. It's a different phone. It's a replacer. And yeah, now let's see how long the battery is going to last on this one with the package and the impact that it's getting from our members and everybody. But anyway, I'll be online tomorrow. I'll be with you people tomorrow. During the day, everybody who want to contact me, ask for guidance, ask for assistance, I'm gladly there to help you. This is my church. My church is to help people wherever I can. Because that's what we're supposed to do. In our deeds, as God says, you'll be judged by your deeds. Now let your deeds be caring for other, the right other. See you Monday night. Same time, same place. And here, at our home, where we come together. And remember, it is your responsibility to talk to those you care about. Because it's now happening. And you, who is already on this group, knows that it has happened for you. Have a beautiful, fantastic evening for the 4th time. I'm so addicted to you guys, I cannot walk away. I just want to give you, and I don't know what more I can give you. I just want to give you. It became such a nice thing to do. I was running away from this, and now I can't walk away from it. Thank you very much for the great company that we have here with one another. And take care of each other. Let us be there for one another. Good night. Sleep well. And I'm open. You can talk to me from tomorrow morning. No problem. I am here. Let me charge this phone. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody tomorrow anyway. Good night.